Okay, so welcome to our beginner mat class for today. We will use the resistance band, like I said, in some ways to help modify, but as well as challenge a couple of the little things that we've been practicing. So at any point you can drop it. It's not necessary, but I think you guys will find it helpful for a couple of the movements we do. So we're going to start lying down on your back. You can bring your band with you, but we won't use it to get started. And find a comfortable resting position for a little bit of breath work to get started. So you can lie down with your legs extended or your knees bent, feet flat, whatever feels comfortable for your body. Let your shoulders relax back onto the mat. Feel the heaviness of your hips down equally on both sides. Your feet resting down onto the floor. And start to take a couple of gentle breaths, breathing in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. And try again, another gentle inhale, breath in, filling your belly up with air. And as you exhale, blowing out from the bottom part of your lungs all the way up to the top. Think of your ribs here as giving your lungs a little bit of compression to help release that air from the bottom part of your lungs. Taking your full inhale, breath in, and then that strong exhale, breath out as though you're blowing out through a straw. Try twice more like that. A big inhale, breath in, and then exhale, breath out and release. And last time like this, a big inhale, breath in, and then exhale, breath out, and let it go. From here, we're going to go into our gentle pelvic tilt. So very slow and steady. Start to rock the tailbone front to back, opening and closing the space behind your low back. So as you're rocking front to back, make this gentle. I want this to be within your spine, comfortable range of motion, but make sure as well that you are moving just from your spine. So it's not by tightening your butt muscles or pushing into your feet. You're just moving within the range that your spine can comfortably complete. Add in your breathing to exhale as you close the space behind your low back and inhale to open. Exhale, close the space behind your low back and inhale to open. Good. 3 more times. Exhale, close, inhale, open. Twice more. Exhale, close, inhale, open. 1 more time. Exhale, close, inhale, open, and take a little rest. Walk your feet together, knees together, and gently allow your legs now to rock from side to side. And same thing, this should be comfortable. If you go too far, it may start to feel like pinching or pain in your low back. I want this to be within your body's comfortable range of motion. So just rocking from side to side, allowing your shoulders to relax onto the mat, and just bringing a little bit of gentle blood flow to your low back before we get into the deeper parts of our movement. Good. That's it here. Try 4 more times like this. And 3. Good. Last 2. And 1 more time here, and then settle somewhere right into the middle. So go ahead and grab your band now, and you're going to place the ball of your feet into the band, and then hold the band about the height of your knees and pin your elbows down by your side. Okay, so it's as though you are holding up your own feet with the band right now. So push very lightly, keep your shoulder blades and elbows glued to the mat, and then slow and steady, you're going to start to push the legs out and bend them back in. Push the legs out and bend them back in. So feel free to adjust the resistance as needed. If it feels like too much for your arms, you can make the resistance lighter. If it feels like too much for your back or your core, make the resistance a little bit tighter. That's actually going to give you more support here. So as you press out, see if you can keep the rib cage down on the mat, and you should feel your core having to work to hold you up in this position. Good. 4 more. That's it. Last 3. Good. You can modify by pushing your legs up a little bit higher if you need to. Good. And once more there, and bend the legs back in. Good. Now slowly step one foot out of the band. Keep your left foot in the band. Good. From this position, we're going to try just the left side. So same thing, left leg out, bend it back in. Press the left leg out and bend it back in. Now, because you only have one leg in the strap, the resistance should feel a little heavier. So modify if needed, but think of pressing that leg powerfully out and away and resist bending it back in. 2 more times like this. Good. Last time here. Now you can stay like this or return your right leg to tabletop and continue with just that left leg moving out. So your right leg isn't in the strap. It's just kind of balancing and holding itself in space. 3 more. And 2, shoulders and elbows are still on the mat. 1 more time there. Good. Now place your right foot in, drop your left foot down, and start to press out through your right side. Notice any differences from side to side here. I want you to imagine as you're pressing your leg out that you're moving it straight along a railroad track. So it doesn't wiggle wobble in and out. You may feel that it wants to wiggle wobble. See if you can press it out nice and smooth, nice and straight, and then gently resist and bend it back in. Good. 3 more. Slow and steady bend in. Exhale, push out for 2. And bend in 1 more time. Good. Now bring that left leg up to the tabletop position. Hold and press out with your right leg. Good. Your rib cage is still down onto the mat. Shoulders are back. Head is relaxed. Rib cage is pressing as though you're leaving a rib print in the mat behind you. 2 more. And 1 more time there. And bend it back in. Place both feet down. You can take that band now like a seat belt across the front of your hips. Walk your heels in close enough to be able to tap them with your fingertips. And then you're going to hold the band next to your side with your arms down into the floor. So there should be barely any resistance. We're going to prepare for bridging here. And the band is here to help you engage your glutes, your butt muscles. So press the hands into the floor and lift up against that imaginary seatbelt and lower back down. Now, because this gives you a little bit of resistance, you may not be able to go up quite as high, and that's totally fine here. I just want you to kind of notice and think about moving right from the band. So sometimes when we do bridging, we try and lift from our back. This should encourage you to really lift from your hip joint. And I want you to notice how the band actually helps you come back down. See if you can slowly lower your hips down as though you're fighting against that band to not let your hips tap the mat. Good. 3 more times here. And roll back down. Good. Lifting on up for 2. And once more here. Good. And melt it down. Take a rest. We're going to return that band around the ball of our feet and stretch the legs out long on the mat for roll up. Now for this, you should be holding the band somewhere up by your hip joint with your arms down long by your side. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, arms are straight, look to your toes and let the band pull you all the way on up. Now, if you want a little bit more resistance, hold down by your shins, stack the spine tall, arms stay straight out in front of you and roll, melting back down onto the mat, slow with control. Take an inhale breath at the bottom, exhale, lift to the toes, curl, rolling and scooping on up. Good. So as you're rolling here, notice how the band is helping you. I want you to use that to slow down your rolling. See if you can feel each individual vertebrae as you roll and melt down, and each singular vertebrae as you curl and lift back up. Notice how your elbows are going to want to bend. They want to pull backwards. That bending actually sends your body weight in the wrong direction. So keep your arms straight on the way down and straight on the way up as though you're reaching towards those toes. Pretend like I can hear your breathing. Exhaling as you roll all the way back down and then reaching and coming all the way back on up. Good. 2 more times here. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale Exhale, roll and come back up. This is our last time here. Nice job. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears as you melt the spine down. And then reach and come all the way back on up. Go ahead and bend your knees. Keep the band around the ball of your feet. But now walk your hands down to hug around your shins. And we'll go for our partial roll back. So feet together, knees together. Pick the spine up nice and tall. Start to roll back. And then restack and come up. Arms stay straight. You can think of this band here as just a little bit of support for your body. Like you're holding onto that band and stretching it a little bit as you roll back. And then releasing and coming back on up. Good. 2 more times here. Little roll back and come back on up. 1 more time. A little roll back and hold. Make this space between your ribs and hips smaller. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Now, teeny tiny, I want you to pull into the band and release. Pull back into the band and release. So your elbows stay close by your side. It is a small movement. As you pull backwards, you'll find your body wants to sit up. See if you can stay down nice and low, keeping your spine steady as you pull. 3 more, back and release. Exhale, pull back and release. Good. Last 2. 1 more time. Release forward. Dive up and over. And you can take that gentle stretch as you allow your rib cage to rest down on your thighs. Good. We'll try another big inhale breath here. As you exhale, roll back once again, but this time lift your feet and you're still keeping them in the band and just hold. We're going to do our rolling like a ball, keeping the feet in the band. So roll back, exhale, come up and pause. Try again. Roll back, exhale, come up and pause. Now notice how you can push down into the band with your feet, and that actually gives you a little assistance as you come up. So see if you can make that roll as smooth as possible. Like there's no jerky momentum at the bottom. Your spine is nice and even. You're rolling equally on both sides of the spine as you melt down, and then curl and come right back on up. Good. 2 more times here. Roll back. You lift and come on up. And 1 more time here. Come right on up. And then place the feet down. You can release that band from around your feet. And we'll come on to our side for side leg series. Now, as we do side leg series, I have a little loop on the end of my band. If you don't have a loop, I want you to tie a knot at the end of one band so that you could put your foot into a little loop. And you can even make it a bow if you want to have an easier time taking it off. But we're going to use that to give some support to our legs in the side leg series. So you're tying a little loop, a little bow on the end. And then you're going to place your right foot into the band and lay the band along the back edge of your mat so that you can lie down on top of it. So you're going to actually lie with your left hip on top of the band and then rest all the way down. So the band is being held in place by your left hip. Your foot is in the right band. So let your left knee bend, spine is long, and your left leg is reaching out. And it should feel like a little bit of tension when your right foot is stretched out. If it doesn't, adjust the band to be a little bit tighter here. Okay, so allow your head to rest down, collarbones are open, hips are stacked, and think of stretching your band longer by reaching your right foot out past the end of the band. The end of the mat. Once you have that position, start to lift and lower, okay? Small range of motion. So you'll feel maybe a light change in tension here, but what I really want you to think about is reaching your right foot past the end of your mat. So you're stretching it out super long, super far, reaching out, out, and out past the end of your mat. Slow and steady, lift and lower. So you'll feel how if you move fast, you're going to lose the tension on that band. I want you to go slow and steady as you're keeping this constant steady pressure on the band itself. Good. 4 more, and 3, last 2, last time little circles. Start to draw some circles, reaching out, back and around, out, back and around. Good. Same thing here, like you're creating that tension through the band and maintaining it the whole time. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Reverse your circle. Same thing, opposite direction. Stretch, reaching it out long, back and around. Out long, back and around. Good. That's it here, guys. We have 4 more. 3, 2, 1 more time. Hold the leg up. Now straight leg kick forward just a few inches and exhale, pull it back. Keep the height of your foot exactly the same. So the amount of tension is about the same on the band. Rob and roll your top hip forward a tiny bit. Good. 3 more. And 2 more. 1 more time there. Good. You can release the band off your foot, bend your top leg, and straighten your bottom leg for inner thighs. If this feels uncomfortable, bring your top foot behind you. Press and reach that bottom leg out long now, like you're trying to reach your bottom leg off the mat, and start to lift and lower here. Good. If you need to press into the mat for a little bit of support with your top hand, you can do so. But if you want to challenge your balance, lift the top hand up to the ceiling. And imagine like there's a rope that's going to help hold you up here. Keep reaching for that imaginary rope. 3 more. 2 more. Last time, hold it up, tiny pulses. Pulse up, up, up an inch and up. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Little circles, teeny tiny circles. You've got this. Keep that top leg straight. Keep reaching up to the ceiling. Press into your back foot. 2 and 1. Reverse your circle. This is our last little bit here. You've got it. Keep stretching and reaching. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stack both legs and go ahead and roll right onto your stomach. Hands go flat underneath the shoulders. Open up the feet a little bit wider than hip distance and start to press on up to lift your spine. So here, maybe you're pressing into your upper back. Maybe you feel comfortable pressing all the way on up and lifting into your low back. Work within the range of motion that is comfortable for your body. Shoulders open, pressing into the hands and melting back down. Feet are heavy on the mat as you open up to lift and lower back down. 3 more times here. And melting back down onto the mat. 2 more. Open up and lower all the way down. 1 more time there. Big open up. Hold at the top. Take a big breath in. Shine your heart forward. Exhale, melt and lower all the way back down. Now, take your band once again and drape it across the back of your hips here. Okay. Now, once you have the band across your hips, you're going to reach back and grab it about hip width distance with both hands, reaching your elbows straight. Now, you have the option to just keep your head hovering off the mat. If you would like, you can curl and lift your head, neck, and shoulders up here. You don't have to, that's totally optional. Straighten your elbows and reach. All I want you to do is pull apart on the band just slightly. So there's a minor bit of tension, and then start to lift and lower your arms straight up and down, adding a little tuck to your chin, lengthening through the top of your head with the tops of your feet resting down onto the mat. Little tiny lift and lower. Even if your head, neck, and shoulders are not lifted, I want you to imagine that this lift happens from your shoulder joint. So your hands are just along for the ride. Imagine the front of your shoulder lifting up and away from the floor. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Hold it at your top. Pulse out on the band. Pull apart on that band. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Hands flat onto the mat. Push yourself up and back. And you can round into your shell stretch or child's pose. Allow your forehead to rest down onto the mat. And take a big, deep, expansive breath into your low back here. We'll gently come all the way on up. We're going to take that loop that you formed around your left foot now as we go into our second side of side leg series. So loop around your left foot. You can drape the band along your mat and pin the band down with your hip, making a little pillow with your bicep to lie on your side. Your bottom leg is going to stay bent. Your top leg is straight and it is reaching off the end of the mat. So feel like you can actually stretch your band longer by pushing your foot away from your body. Now keep that tension on the band as you start to lift and lower. This doesn't have to be a big range of motion here. Keep it slow and steady. Again, if you want to challenge your balance, you can reach that top arm up towards the ceiling or press your hand down into the floor. Good. Keep lifting and lowering. Keep that constant tension and reach of your foot out past the end of your mat. 3 more. 2. 1 more time. Now slow and steady. Imagine painting with a paintbrush a circle, a perfect circle, and that paintbrush coming out of your heel on the left foot. Good. Reaching out, up, and around. Out, up, and around. 4 more. 3, 2, last time reverse that circle, opposite direction. Same thing here, reaching back out and around, back out and around. Good. 4, 3, 2, we're almost there. Last time. Now straight leg kick forward a few inches and exhale, pull back. Inhale, kick forward and exhale, sweep and pull back. Good. Keep reaching the top of the head long and tall, sweeping the leg along the length of your mat. 3 more. Inhale forward, exhale, pull back for 2. Once more there, good. And then you can bend, release that band in, bend your top leg and straighten your bottom. So either in front or behind. As you straighten your bottom leg, reach it out as though your leg is a stiff board and start to lift and lower. You can press that top hand down into the floor or reach it up towards the ceiling, reaching for that imaginary rope that's going to hold you up in this position. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. That's it. 5 more. Straighten the leg. 4 and 3. We'll get ready for our little pulses here. 2. Hold it up. Tiny pulses, small range of motion up to the top. Little teeny pulses, allowing your head to rest down. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tiny circles, sweeping out, up, and around. Good. Now that paintbrush, we're drawing a teeny tiny circle inside that big circle from before. 3, 2, 1. Reverse that circle like you're trying to create a different brush stroke here. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stack both legs, and then you can go ahead and roll right onto your stomach. We'll take that band now, and this is kind of a funny setup here. You're going to take the band around your feet. So you want to bend your knees kind of around your ankles, and then once your knees are bent, the band is around your ankles, cross the band and hold the opposite band in each hand. Okay, so there is a crisscross over my legs. Now from here, I'm just going to kick the band out. Now this is where you can stay if you would like. If you want to try double leg kick, you're going to kick 3, 2, 1, lift up, reach the fingertips back towards the toes, lower the chest down, kick 3, 2, 1, press the band out, lift the chest up tall, head lowers, kick 3, 2, 1, press, use the tension of the band to lift your heart open, head down, kick 3, 2, 1, lift up and stretch. 2 more times, kick 3, 2, 1, stretch and lift. Once more, kick 3, 2, 1, lift up, stretch, hold that nice stretch here, and then lower down. You can drop the band, push yourself up and back and round into your shell stretch once again. This time you can walk both hands over to one side of the mat, taking a big deep breath in here, and then up and over to the opposite side of your mat. Good. Okay. So go ahead and release the band. We're going to set it off to the side for our all fours work today, and then come back to that a little bit later in class. You can set that off to the side and come into your all fours position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Now we're going to practice a little bit of breath work here first. So I want you to imagine your rib cage purposely dropping down towards the floor. So let your ribs and your belly sag. As you exhale, lift your ribs up and away from the floor. Inhale, purposely let them sag. Exhale, pull them up and away. Inhale, release. Exhale, draw the ribs up and in. Last time like that, and draw the ribs up and in and hold. Now we're going to go into a balance. Drop your shoulders down away from the ears. Imagine like you have a little ball resting right on your low back here. Without tipping that ball side to side, reach your right arm, left leg back behind you, and just hold. Imagine turning your left inner thigh towards your right, reaching the right fingertips out a little bit longer, unlock your left elbow, drawing the ribs up away from the floor. Stretch the fingertips and toes. Neck is long, head is long. Hold and breathe. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come right back down. Inhale. Take an exhale breath. Draw your rib cage up and in. Once again, reset. Imagine that little marble is still on your low back. Reach your left arm, right leg back behind you. Turn your right inner thigh in. Draw your ribs up away from the floor. Reach the left fingertips long. Unlock your right elbow. Push down into your right hand. Keep your gaze just in front of your right fingertips and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Take a quick moment to take the weight off your wrist. You can roll your wrists out, and we're going to take this now into a little stretch for the upper back. So once your wrists feel a little bit more mobile, we'll come right back into that same position. Hands flat onto the mat, knees underneath the hips. You're going to take your left hand, reaching it up to the ceiling, and follow that hand with your eyes. This is a gentle upper back stretch here. And then thread your left hand underneath your right hand, letting your right elbow bend so that your head, neck, and shoulders rest onto the mat. Inhale, reach your left arm back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, thread your left hand underneath your right arm, gazing over towards the right side. Think of your hips here like a puppy, the way they might stretch their paws in the morning, keeping your hips high, tailbone flaring up towards the ceiling. Good. Just 2 more on this side. Find that nice long stretch, turning your rib cage to face towards the opposite side, lifting on up. Once more here, within your body's comfortable range of motion, just make sure that you are breathing through this set. And then lower your left hand down, keeping your spine long. Same thing on the right side. So reach and turn your right arm up to the ceiling, and then thread your right hand underneath your left arm, letting your head, neck, and shoulders rest down. Push into your left hand, rotate, open, and reach to the ceiling, and then thread your right hand underneath your left arm, letting the head, neck, and shoulders rest down. Good. Reaching on up and gently rotating. Good. Twice more, pressing down, reaching to the ceiling. Thread the hand under, gently rotate to twist. Last 2. And reach over to the left side. Good. One more time there. And gently rotating up and over. And then come back through the center. We're going to swing the legs around in front of you and grab onto your band to find ourselves back down onto the mat. So you can just grab your band, bring it with you. We'll use a roll down to come onto the mat if you would like. And then bend both of your knees, planting your feet down flat and finding your neutral spine position. So neutral spine, leaving that small space under your low back, minimal space underneath your rib cage. So from here, reach your fingertips. You're going to take the band about shoulder width distance apart and reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Gently pull apart on your band. If it feels like tons of resistance, give yourself a little less resistance. This should feel moderate. So just a couple times pulling apart. And when you pull apart, notice if your rib cage starts to lift off the mat. I want you to keep your rib cage glued down to the mat beneath you. Good. 4 more like this. And 3. Last 2. Hold it open and pause. Now, without moving your band, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Stretch your left leg out long. Single leg stretch. We start to switch the legs in space. So go slow, but I want you to keep the tension on the band. You can modify by reaching your legs up higher towards the ceiling, or challenge yourself by reaching down a little bit lower. But go only as far as you can, keeping your head, neck, shoulders, and rib cage down on the mat. That band should be exactly still in space. Good, you're constantly pulling out, holding this steady pressure. 2 more. 1 more. Bring both knees in. Now we inhale, arms and legs reach back. Exhale, tap the band to your knees. Inhale, arms and legs reach away. Exhale, pull in, tap the band to the knees. Just 3 more. And you can modify by reaching your legs up a little bit higher. Good. And 2, challenge yourself by reaching down a little lower. And 1 more time here, and bend it back in. Good. Now go ahead and place the band around the ball of your feet as we get into our final set here. So bring your elbows down by your side. You're going to press and reach the legs out long for our double leg lower. Start to lower your straight legs down and lift up. Straight legs lower and lift. Now you're lowering down only as far as you can go without letting your shoulders and your head lift off the mat. Push down into your feet. Good. 4 more. And 3. That's it here, guys. Last 2. Once more there. Bend the knees in towards the chest. We're going to try our crisscross. So in crisscross here, you're going to straighten one leg. So one leg releases, turn to the right side, straighten the opposite leg and turn towards the left. So one leg is going to push the band out and away as you curl and reach up. Shoulders stay down onto the mat. You have the option here to leave your head down if you would like, and just alternate pressing one leg out into the band at a time with your head staying down on the mat. Good. 3 more. Head lowers. Exhale, reach up and lift 2. Once more there. Good. And then lower down. You can set that band off to the side. Hug your knees in towards your chest and gently rock the legs from side to side. Good. Take that rocking now right on up to your seated position. And we'll take a little challenge here. So I want to give you guys this option. We're going to, I think it's something that is worth trying to get a good touch. You're going to put the band around the ball of your feet, similar to rolling like a ball. So if you feel uncomfortable with this one, you can always do rolling like a ball, but we're going to start rolling back with the feet in the band, but this time lift up to mostly straighten your legs so that your arms are also straight. And if you need more support, hold closer towards your feet. From this position, roll back, see if you can come up and get your balance. Roll back, see if you can come up. Straight arms, mostly straight legs. Good. Roll back. That's awesome, Robin. Nice. Good. Gently roll back and come right on up. Good. That's it, Marjorie. Exactly. Good. Think of pushing down with your feet to help yourself come back up. There you go. Good. 3 more. Back. Push down with your feet and come up. 2 more. Press back down into the feet to lift. Good. 1 more time there. Come right on up, hold, and then drop your feet down, take a little rest. Good. You can set that band off to the side, and we're going to come on up into a little bit of standing work. So we've got a good balance series here. So come on up to standing when you feel ready. I'm just going to make a quick camera adjustment. Okay. So in standing here, we're going to start with a wider stance today. So I want you to take your feet wider than hip distance, but when you look down, they should still be parallel. So not a turned out position, parallel to one another in a wider stance. Start reaching your fingertips up tall to the ceiling and very gently keeping your feet grounded on the mat. We're just going to sway side to side. And hopefully you feel how your core kind of has to react to catch you from tipping all the way over. So just a very gentle, tall reach side sway with your body. Now we are going to lift one foot in just a moment. So as you sway to the right, gently lifting your left leg, come back through the center. As you sway to the left, lift your right leg. However, when you lift, you could do this really fast and it feel like next to nothing. I want you to lift and just pause for a moment. Bring it back down, lift, just pause for a moment. Bring it back down. If this is too much with your arms lifted, you can actually keep your hands on your hips. In some ways, it helps you though to have your arms up as a bit of a counterbalance. So give that a try if you can and just pause. Gently place that foot back down, lift up, pause, and gently place that foot down. So this should take some work from the outside of your hips. It should take some work from your core and certainly some shoulder work just to hold your arms up to do this setup. Check that your feet are still parallel. Notice if it's much trickier to hold that pause on one side compared to the other. Be gentle with your body. Go slow here. That's it. We'll try 3 more. And 2, pause. Good. Once more. And then settle somewhere right into the middle. Shake your arms out. Walk your feet back to your parallel alignment. Look down at your toes. Push your toes down into the mat. We're going to go into calf raises. So without moving your trunk, start to slowly lift and lower up and down onto your toes. As you're lifting and lowering, notice if your body is using momentum by pressing your hips forward and leaning back, or if you're able to just keep your body stiff and straight like a board, moving just from your ankles. Now imagine that you are lifting and lowering from a sheet of glass. It's delicate. You want to lower down really gently and slowly to just barely tap your heels and come right back on up. Notice if one leg is doing more work than the other. See if you can press equally into all 5 toes, both legs together. Good. Nice and smooth. Imagine almost like there's a little something between your legs that you're trying to hug in on to keep steady. 4 more times and lower down. That's it. Last 3. Get ready for a little hold here. Last 2. Hold up at the top. Pause. Hold it here if you can. Reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Hold your steady balance. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Shake it out. I know those calf muscles are burning. We do this all as a prep for our bigger balance. So we want our calves and our feet muscles to be active to help us with our balance. So I'll turn to the side so you guys can see, but stay in your parallel foot alignment. Look down, press your feet down into the floor. Keep the top of your head tall. Bring your right leg up to tabletop position and just hold. Notice if your body's leaning backwards, check and see if you can feel your left glute working. It should be to help stack your body right up on top of your left ankle. Now you can just hold this here. If you'd like, try tapping the right toes behind you, bringing them back up. Tap the right toes behind you, lift them back up. So it's small, not a big motion. Think about your hips like headlights. They are both facing straight ahead. So your headlights are shining on the road in front of you so that you can see. You can even keep your hands on your hips so you can feel that. Good. 3 more. Tap back, pull up and lift. 2 more. Tap, pull up and lift. 1 more time there. Tap back, pull up and lift. Hold. And then place that right foot down. Shake out your feet. Look down. Create a fan with your toes. Glue the feet down into the mat. This time we're going to press downward into our right foot to float and lift the left leg. Hold. Check and make sure that your right glute is working. Your spine is stacked right on top of that right ankle. You can work to just hold your balance here, or tap your left toes to the floor and bring it back up. Try looking at one thing that's not moving to help your balance if you feel like you need that here. Good. Tap back and lift on up tall. Tap the toes back, lift up tall. Good. Reach and stand tall. Tap and lift up. Good. 2 more times. Unlock that right knee a little bit. Last time there. Lift up, hold, and then gently place the foot down and shake it on out. Okay, so now feel the power in your feet beneath you. I want you to feel that same energy that we just had for balance as you reach your arms up to the ceiling. Keeping the weight down in your feet. Imagine like you are a candy cane. You're rolling up and over, allowing your head to hang heavy, softly bending your knees at the bottom, and holding here for a breath. Take a big inhale, fill your belly up with air, push down into your feet as you exhale to roll, curling the spine all the way on up with your fingertips being the last thing to reach. Inhale. As you exhale, dive, rolling the spine down, 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 unlocking the knees, maybe shaking your head yes and no. Pushing down into your feet as you exhale to curl, rolling all the way back on up. Fingertips reach tall to the ceiling. Last time here, inhale. Exhale, dive, rolling the spine up and over this imaginary fence in front of you, keeping weight in the toes and the heels. Inhale and exhale, push into your feet as you curl, rolling the spine all the way on up and drop your arms down by your side. Now we're gonna finish back down onto the mat, but I want you guys to try something here. So let me just adjust the camera. If you're standing at the top of your mat, I want you to try to squat down as low as you can and see if you can bring your hips to the mat. It's tricky, give it a try to see if you can lower yourself all the way down to a seated position. It's a good test of our ankle and our hip mobility there. So once you find yourself seated on the mat, bring your hands back behind you with your fingertips pointing slightly out to the side. So about 6 to 8 inches behind you, and then purposely kind of let yourself sag. So we just did lots of forward bending. We're gonna finish here with a little extension work. So push into your hands and open up your heart and chest. Again, let yourself sag for a moment and then push into your hands, open up your heart and chest, your elbows are straight. One more time like that, we let ourselves sag, then push into your hands, open up your heart and chest and hold. From here, we're gonna start to bend the elbows and push. Bend the elbows and push. Keep your gaze out in front of you. Open up your heart, open up your chest. As you're bending and pushing, notice if your shoulders are hiking up by your ears. Try and keep the work just in your elbows. So shoulders stay down, collarbones are open and proud as though you have a big smile across your chest. Good, you've got it. That's it. 4 more. Bend and 3. Bend and push for 2. Last time, hold it back. Tiny pulses to finish. Pulse down an inch and down, down an inch and down. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push all the way on up, and then find a comfortable seated position in the center of your mat. So you can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your heels, whatever that comfortable position may be, and we'll finish with our breath work here today. So open up and lift your chest tall, roll your shoulders down and back. Take an inhale, breath here, reach the fingertips up tall, tall and taller. Exhale, keep that height as you release your arms down by your side. Again, another inhale, breath, reach, lengthen the fingertips up tall. Exhale, out, release, and let it go. Once more here, inhale, reach, lengthen, and lift the spine. Keep that height as you exhale, release, out, and let it go. Give yourself a pat on the back. Nice work today, and thank you guys for joining in. Let me know if you have any questions here.